Hi everybody, I'm Rob from Rewind Video.
Bob here.
We're here today with a double feature mini episode to talk about some movies that have hit theaters the past few weeks.
You know, we start our episodes off by saying that we love movies, and this is proof. We went and saw two movies.
Two movies! Not at the same time.
Yeah.
In the same month, I think?
In the same month, but I think you could, if you were eager enough, go and see both these movies at the same time. One right after the other. Not simultaneously.
That sounds like some galaxy brain shit.
Yeah.
Before we get started, I wanted to propose something.
Okay. I'm all ears.
Now, we've been doing these mini episodes. We've been talking about movies we go to the theater to.
Yeah.
We actually leave the store for once.
Right.
For once in our lives.
It's strange.
We travel to the movie theater, and we come back and we tell our audience what we think of these movies. And we have a grading system.
Yeah.
And the last time we did this, we used a grading system between one and two popcorns, or 1 and 3 popcorns.
1 and 3 popcorns.
I propose. Now I don't want to dictate anything here. I want to get some consensus, hopefully.
Yeah.
I propose that we go to just popcorn or no popcorn. I think we need to rein it in for these special episodes.
Okay.
Either a yay or a nay. What do you think?
Oh boy, I wasn't prepared for this because I'll tell you what,
I'm putting you on the spot on purpose.
Yeah. I'm this is exhilarating. Our rating system has been keeping me up at night a little bit for these mini episodes, but I was thinking we might go the other direction and expand it.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing: we already have a star system,
right,
for movies in general. For like what we do on Letterboxd, and then we always give our star system or our star rating for the movies we recommend on the normal episodes.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're not into it, tell me. But I think going for these theater released movies, I feel like we need to be go to the theater to see this movie or don't. Wait for it on video.
Wait for it. Okay.
Yes or no. Popcorn, no popcorn.
Okay.
And that kind of really forces us to make a decision.
Okay. I think I'm into this.
Okay.
I mean,
we can try it. We can always go back, or we can table it and try it again.
Yeah.
Another time.
You know, I think there is the fact that we have decided to go to the movies.
Yes.
So we are kind of choosing popcorn for ourselves.
We're doing it for the audience.
But yeah, we're going to tell the audience whether they should invest their own money. Okay. All right. Let's give it a shot.
Let's try it.
I'm ready.
Let's at least try it.
Yeah. I like it. All right.
So the first movie we wanted to talk about today is Quiet Place Day 1.
Yes.
What did you think?
I loved this. Probably not for the reason that most people will. I like this franchise. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the first 2 movies more than I expected to. I loved the third one. And
it's your favorite?
No, it's probably not my favorite, but I love it for something that it does that is independent of this franchise. And I think you know what I'm talking about.
I think I get what you're getting at.
Yeah. Maybe if you'll permit me, I'll just read my Letterboxd review for the audience, and they'll understand what I'm getting at here. So, we don't generally deviate from the single star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 star rating system. Mm-hmm. I did give this an extra half star for exactly what I'm about to talk about. So this is 4.5 stars for me. I didn't go into this expecting to watch a pizza movie, but here we are. The sheer amount of respect that this film shows for not just pizza, but a good handmade pie is just incredible. This, above all else, is a celebration of why people are passionate about pizza. It highlights why we argue about whether my pizza place is better than your pizza joint. It showcases the lengths we'll go for that perfect slice. No notes.
Incredible.
As a pizza movie, this is flawless.
I mean, it is a pretty good pizza movie. I can't think of a better one.
I can't think of a better.
I'm sure there's another one out there.
But this is about pizza.
Yeah, it really is. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, it's definitely a Quiet Place movie, but second to it being a pizza.
Ultimately a pizza movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid horror movie. I think the thing that bothered me about this is that it lacks a new take on the premise. It doesn't give us any new way to think about what The Quiet Place is.
I agree. I mean, I think we maybe get more of the monsters here, but we don't learn anything new about them.
Right. And it's called Quiet Place Day One. And we don't learn anything else about what would happen on day one besides what we already knew.
Right. We don't know why they came.
We don't know how people dealt with it necessarily. It didn't kind of just happened.
It did just happen.
And then there wasn't we didn't see how people figuring out in one way or another how to live their lives or how to adapt. It was just kind of stuff that happened in the first two movies.
Yeah.
And also didn't live up to the premise of Quiet Day or Quiet Place in New York.
No.
It was a very small scale movie for something that takes place in New York City.
Yeah, there are some parallels here to Civil War in the sense that I wouldn't blame people for expecting something much bigger in scale with Civil War, and you end up getting a smaller story. Here, I think it's the same situation where we're following one woman through her journey in New York to get some pizza, and this crazy shit happens to be happening at the same time.
Yeah.
But I think I would have preferred perhaps a little bit more lore, and
That's what I was looking for.
yeah.
I want more lore. How did New York City deal with that first 6 hours? And I don't feel like we really got that.
Yeah. I think you needed to probably follow more storylines in order around the city in order to get what we're probably talking about here.
Yeah, and I like the performances here. I like the cat. Although
Cat's great.
there's a lot of impossible cat stuff.
Well, how does this cat never meow?
Yeah, although I've heard that, and I know my cats, and
Yeah.
cats do make noise, but cats, some cats I think are sometimes silent. And,
Yeah.
and there are cats that don't make any noise unless they're threatened or something.
Yeah.
So I that part I wasn't totally unbelievable, but the parts where the cat was getting wet and stuff. Never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Cats will never put up with that.
No.
But also, there's a part where she takes the cat and wraps it up in her sweater and goes underwater.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, not even just cat. There is not an animal alive that will allow you to do that.
Right.
that is not how it works.
It would have clawed the fuck out of her.
Even dogs will do whatever the fuck you tell them to do. There's no way they're gonna let you do that.
Yeah.
Just drown. You're gonna drown it.
Right. You can't tell a cat you can't tell any animal, hold your breath.
Yeah, hold your breath.
Yeah, we're gonna come out.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
An animal never understands that. So that was just completely not believable.
Yeah, I agree.
So this didn't this didn't do much new from the first two movies, and I'm not sure that we need another one if it's not going to start doing something different with the premise.
I think what you need to further this franchise is to go months, if not years, into the future to the point where we're on even footing with this invasion and we have ways to keep it at bay, and perhaps that goes wrong.
Yeah.
I'm ready for us to get ourselves back on our feet.
Tell a different story.
Fight this.
This
thing.
was a different. Part 2 didn't do anything different from part 1, but I was kind of okay with it because it's the same family. They're continuing this family's story.
Right.
And now we're going to different characters, but it's kind of telling the same story with different people.
Well, what this franchise seems to be interested in doing is focusing on how this invasion impacts a small selection of characters. And it's not so obsessed with the impact on the world or even a city. Mm-hmm. It's just about individual stories. And yeah, I've probably had enough of that at this point, and I'm ready for something bigger.
But it sounds like you're going to say
Popcorn.
You're going popcorn.
Especially if you're a pizza fan.
Yeah.
And who's not a pizza fan?
If you love pizza.
Yeah, but I would say that there's enough here. This is a blockbuster,
Yeah.
action thriller, sci-fi story, and I think these movies have always done a good job of delivering an audio experience, like not just an audio visual experience, but like a sensory experience when it comes to just the sound design that rewards going to the theater and being in a true surround sound environment that accentuates what the Quiet Place movies are doing.
I don't know how I feel about that. This is a tough one because I did like this movie. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's a great pizza movie. I can't argue with that. It disappointed me in a lot of ways. It's like a solid enough horror movie, solid enough monster movie. But I feel like if we're gonna see movies that I'm going to say no popcorn, like I have to have some standards here. Like I think liking it isn't enough. I think I might go no popcorn on this.
Interesting.
And maybe, these rating systems are evolving. I think, who knows? But I don't know. I feel like if you're going out to see a movie, I feel like there's other better options out there.
Not unfair. Unfair. Now, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, we have some customers, including one regular at the store who I can think of who's never seen any of these movies.
Yes.
And so if you're going in blind and you've never seen either of the two prior Quiet Place movies, would you say popcorn for this one as a way into the franchise where you can follow up and watch the other two at home?
No, I'd say if you've never seen any of them, start at the first one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, start at the first one. I think it's the best one.
Yeah.
And I think and like the ideas are new in that movie.
Yeah.
Whereas like there's not really any new ideas in the subsequent two movies. But yeah, this movie's probably available at your house right now when you're listening to this.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely worth a watch at home. But if we're gonna say like go out to the movies to see something, I don't know that I would give this a popcorn.
Okay.
But like maybe my philosophy on that will change over time. But I'm trying it out.
I like what you're doing. It might inform my position on our second feature.
Yeah. If you're going like if you're like, hey, I just love horror movies. I want to go see a monster movie this weekend. Yeah, sure. But like I'm not sure that should be my standard.
Okay.
For popcorn or no popcorn.
Got it.
I'm going to go no popcorn. We'll see how it goes.
All right. I like it. So we're one popcorn and one no popcorn on
Yes.
Quiet Place Day 1.
Yes.
All right.
All right. So our next movie, Twisters. I predicted this would be the movie of the summer. Is it?
You did say that.
I did say that.
Yeah. Is it? Are you asking
Is
me?
it? Well, yeah, sure.
I don't think it is. I enjoyed my time watching this.
Yeah, well, by the numbers, I guess the Wolverine movie is...
Yeah, I would say separate from that. I'm just thinking about, is this big enough to be... Like, when I look back on the summer, am I going to be like, that was it?
That
Twisters.
was the year Twisters came out.
That was my favorite film-going experience.
Well, I don't even know if it, is it my favorite... Like, is it your favorite? But, like... Is it like the movie that defines the summer of 2024 when it comes to movies?
I don't think it will be for me. Now, the summer's not over yet, and I know we have some big movies still on the horizon, but I had high expectations going into this. I think I was feeding off of your enthusiasm a little bit for the follow-up to the classic Twister. And this fell short a little bit for me.
Okay.
It was still fun. I still had a great time.
You like the first one.
Love the first one.
Great.
Yeah, love the first one. But yeah, I wish this movie did some things a little bit differently. And so yeah, it's not as high. I'm not as high on it as I wanted it to be.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's kind of stupid in the same ways that the original, or like similar ways as the original. It's not perfect. I don't think the first one is perfect.
No.
The my biggest problem in the first movie is the romance is ridiculous.
Yeah.
These are two people in love with a tornado that mistake it for being in love with each other.
Right.
And the movie just treats that as normal.
Yeah.
And this movie, I think, is like suffers from kind of the opposite problem. It's like forcing the lack of romance when there clearly is.
There is
romance here.
Yeah.
I think that's like a big like miss there. But I think the action scenes are great. There's tons of tornadoes.
There are.
It's like a lot.
And they look as good as they've ever looked.
Yeah, and everyone's excited about the tornadoes, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, lots of stuff gets destroyed by tornadoes. Like, I think it's just a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun at the movies.
Yeah, this is why you go to the movies, to see a movie like this, and I get that. My criticisms of this are probably in the nitpicky camp. We are in the year of Glenn Powell. He's just fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And
he's as advertised.
He is as advertised. Sometimes he annoys me. This, I think, is just the right role for him.
Yeah.
I did find it a little hard to believe that he's this cowboy YouTuber who, shoots fireworks into tornadoes.
Right.
Oh, by the way, he's smart as fuck.
Yeah.
Because, like he helps this girl with her, experiment in her model. And like, we're supposed to believe he's also like a semi-super genius. And that was a little bit of a hard pill to swallow for me. But yeah.
Whatever. I bought it. I bought it enough.
Yeah. Not that this movie deserves to be just compared 1-to-1 with the original. But I think one thing the original did really well was give us this cast of supporting characters who are in Bill Paxton's squad, who are just like great. I mean, it doesn't hurt that you've got like
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman doing his thing, and those I wanted a little bit more of that. They try to give us some eccentric supporting characters, but I didn't find any of them to be as interesting as what we got the first time around.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. It was not quite at the same level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's again not perfect. It's got its weak spots. But I dug it. I dug the action. I dug the tornadoes.
So
I dug the people.
This might not be fair, and I want to brace our audience for, I think you could consider it a little bit of a spoiler, but I was 1,000% sure that when this girl goes to visit her mom, that her mom was going to be Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
And it is not.
It is not.
And it, like, I don't know how they did not do that. Why would you not do that?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, it didn't bother me. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know that I wanted to see that.
Yeah, it's hard for me because, like, on one hand, this movie wants to be connected to the original, and they do stuff like acknowledge the Dorothy system at the beginning, and then it's even like taken to the next level with what this guy has built with his Wizard of Oz setup. But that's pretty much the only connection it has to the original. Otherwise, this is a standalone tornado movie.
Yeah,
and I think it works, but I think I would have loved.
You want a little bit more.
A little bit more of a connection to the original.
I can see that. Yeah, I think it would have been nice to have something, or at least like if you're gonna have the Dorothy machine, like explain like how do we get from one. At least like give a line of dialogue that says like, "Oh, we got this from da 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 da." You know.
I almost felt like the filmmakers wanted to make this appealing for people that did not see the original, and I mean. If you're going to call it Twisters, I think you have to assume that people have seen the original.
And it wouldn't have taken something that would have taken people out of the movie. No. Just give it like a line of dialogue or a little bit of exposition.
I even think you could have thrown Helen Hunt in and had her play the part of the mom without even changing the mom's dialogue. I mean, it's just like the fact that she's her is, like enough of a throwback to the original that original fans would have been pleased. But again, like I said, probably being a little nitpicky.
Maybe. But hey, you like what you like.
Yeah.
And you like Helen Hunt.
Yeah, I do like Helen Hunt.
So yeah, tough question. Popcorn or no popcorn?
I'm gonna let you go first because
I'm giving this popcorn.
You're giving
I had a great fucking time. I thought it was a blast. It was super loud, shit blowing around.
I'm gonna give this popcorn, even though I would have been satisfied waiting for this to come to home video, knowing now what I know about this movie. But I think for the general public, yeah, you should absolutely go see
Good
this.
enough for you, but not enough for you people, but not enough for Bob.
I mean, I'm probably being a little overly critical. But
well, let's put it this way. Like, you're not going to... If you want to go see a big disaster movie in the theater, this is your option. You're not going to get there's not a lot of movies out there like this right now. And I think it's completely satisfying on all those levels.
Yeah, from a special effects standpoint, this is a ton of fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's amazing that they can make movies like this and have it look as real as it does.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. All right, so we're going popcorn, no popcorn on Twisters.
We're going popcorn and popcorn.
Oh, popcorn.
Yeah.
Popcorn, no popcorn on Quiet Place. Day one.
Yes.
Well, I think that's a wrap on our thoughts on these new releases, this double feature.
I kind of like getting out of the store occasionally.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have a day off every now and again.
Right.
A night off.
Right. Right. We should do it more often, and I think we will.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to management.
Yeah.
So yeah, be sure to check out our regular episodes every other Thursday and follow us at rewindvideopod.com. We will see you next time.
Can't wait.
Hail Satan. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.